Hello everyone and welcome to my Doctor Who action figure review of the Jungles of Mechanus set, which includes 2 Daleks from the Chase. This is a character online exclusive. First off, let's take a look at the packaging for this amazing set. Here's a look at the very nice packaging. It's very similar to the B&M sets which we've seen recently. So we have the current Doctor Who logo along with the style guide, which is becoming very familiar with the TARDIS. We have the name of the set, we have the story which this is from, and we have this circle here which tells us that this is a character online exclusive. And I believe this is the first of many which is coming out in the future, which is very good news. Here we have this nice window box display of the figures inside, and it really gives you a good look at the figures. And I think that the way that they've designed this packaging is very helpful because it gives you a good look at these figures, as well as the backdrop which you can see inside of the box, which I'll give you a closer look at in just a second. That's what it looks like at the top. Here's a bit more of the window display, and this side it just has TARDIS patterns, and at the back it gives you more images of these 2 new Daleks, along with a bio of the Chase and some history about these Dalek props. So if you want to read all of that, pause the video now. Here is a closer look at the backdrop inside of the packaging, which shows us the Jungles of Mechanus, and it is very lovely. It's very nicely rendered, and there's a few Easter eggs here and there from Doctor Who's history. And what I really like about this is that we even have part of the TARDIS doors here, part of the jungles behind there. It gives off the impression that the TARDIS has just landed on the Jungles of Mechanus. We display these new Daleks in there. They look like they're just at home in their continuing mission to find and exterminate the Doctor and his friends. And now on to the main event, which is me taking a look at these 2 amazing figures. First off, I'm going to get this out of the way. The articulation on both of these guys is exactly the same because these are 2 of the same figure, but that's absolutely fine because these are Daleks, and you've got to love having a few Daleks on the shelves for all of your army building purposes. So on these guys, the heads are able to do a 360-degree turn. The eye stalks can move up and down, and your gun and your sucker arm are on ball joints, so they can move all the way around. And at the bottom, these Daleks run on 3 wheels, 2 that go just back and forth, and then we have this one which turns all the way around, so you can move your Dalek around in any direction that you want. Of course, the main draw for these guys was the detail. These Daleks are technically the Peter Cushing movie Daleks from the 1965 film Doctor Who and the Daleks. Now, long story short, Character Options never made any figures based on those 2 Dalek movies from the 1960s, and the reason for that is because of licensing. So that's why we've never seen these figures before until now. But then this begs the question, why are we getting these now? Have we got the license? Well, technically no, we haven't. But these Dalek props were used in the BBC series. In the background of one of the episodes of The Chase, you can actually see these Daleks, and if I'm completely honest with you, I could not even tell, but if you really look, you can see that actually these are the Daleks. I think the trouble is it's because of black and white. I just presume that these were just the same as the other Daleks that appeared in the TV show. So yes, technically Character didn't have the license for these movie Daleks, but they found a loophole in order to release these amazing figures because these actually did appear in the BBC show, and Character have the license for the BBC show. So there you go. that is why we now have these two amazing figures, and I want to give a massive shout out to character and to Al Jawar for making this possible, because I did not think that this would have ever happened. So thank you very much to everyone involved in giving us these figures. With these movie Daleks, the headlights were much bigger, and this has been replicated here on these figures. These have been sculpted on for these new figures, brand new sculpt, and they're very, very nice. And I don't know if you can see like all the rims and everything, like highly detailed, been painted in a sort of glossy red colour, and it really, really works, makes these stand out a lot. The dome has been painted blue, and I really like how they've painted it. I think the paint applications are amazing. Looking at the eye stalk is still the same. The rod has been painted silver. You still got the blue rings at the end there, and then you have your black eyeball as it is, and then here you just have your plain white pupil. Very nice. Here you still have your same thing going on here with your mesh and everything like that. Now going down to the neck area, these Daleks don't have the slats, even though some eagle-eyed viewers or Dalek history nuts will know that the slats were introduced in the 1965 story, The Chase. But I think because these were originally the props from the 1965 movie, those Daleks didn't have those. So what they've done is just reuse the Dead Planet sculpt, but repainted it. And I've got to say this, these strips around here, the way they've been painted gold, again, really makes it stand out. And just having this top half, like with the gold and then the blue head and then the new headlights, really makes these Daleks unique and very much sought after, and it's amazing. Going down to the bottom half is very familiar for most of the 60s Daleks. The hemispheres have been painted blue, bit of a darker blue from what I can tell, compared to most of the other Dalek figures that have been released over the years based on 60s stories. But then the base. Now the base is the same base for some Dalek figures that have been made, such as the Dalek Invasion of Earth figures and the Supreme Dalek from Planet of the Daleks. And this has been very nicely painted in a glossy blue, and I love it. As I mentioned, these two are part of a Character Online exclusive. I believe that this set is limited to only 5,000 units, and last I heard, at time of recording, there's only a few hundred of these left. So very, very soon these figures are going to be very highly sought after. Scalpers are going to be selling this on eBay, and I really hate that. So I must stress to all of you now, if you have for whatever reason not picked this up and you are debating whether to pick it up, I would strongly recommend that you do so now, because once they're gone, they're gone. And I've got to tell you right now, these two figures are amazing, and when I saw these get announced, I immediately ordered these. I can say to you now that this is possibly the best Dalek set that we've had in the last decade. Doing a comparison, let's have a look at one of these new Daleks alongside a Dalek Invasion of Earth drone Dalek. And the reason I've chosen this Dalek to display with this is due to the similar heights, and it's due to these both having the same base. Obviously, they're all painted differently, like the hemispheres are a much lighter blue, which I did think they were, so I was right on that one. The neck here is been painted silver, which was traditional for most of the 60s Daleks, but for these ones they were gold. I'm so glad that character painted them gold, because it just makes them stand out far more than the other ones. And obviously the head painted silver like most of the others, and the headlamps are the much smaller headlamps as opposed to the much bigger headlamps which were used on these Dalek props. Now let's bring in the Planet of the Daleks Supreme Dalek, and the reason I've chosen to compare these two is, again, very similar heights, but also this Dalek was a modified movie Dalek to fit in the TV series, and obviously this Dalek was released many years ago now, back in 2008. This is one of those Daleks which is highly sought after, one of the rarest Daleks that has ever been released, never been re-released at the time of recording, maybe re-released in a future History of the Daleks set, who knows, but for now let's not speculate. It's just absolutely amazing that we sort of have two variants of movie Daleks, even though this is technically more based on Planet of the Daleks rather than any of the movies, because it's based on what we saw in that 1973 story. And one thing I thought when I saw the pictures was, I thought, oh, it's the same head sculpt as the Planet of the Daleks. But actually, looking at this new one, these headlamps are indeed a brand new sculpt, because these ones are completely different. So I'm very glad that character went to the extra effort of making a brand new sculpt, especially just for these two new Daleks, because it's something they really didn't have to do. And to be honest, if they just used the same sculpt of these, I wouldn't have complained all too much. So top marks to character options there. And that is the end of that review. An absolutely amazing set. The Jungles of Mechanus set easily gets top marks from me. Everything about this set is amazing. What's even better is we've got two of these. One of these would have been enough, but the fact that we've got two just makes this even more better. I absolutely love these figures. Do yourselves a favour, if you haven't already, get this set because it is just amazing. Cheers to everyone for watching, and if you want more of this, then please hit that subscribe button. I cannot wait to see what character are going to do next, because this year they are going above and beyond. Until next time everyone, cheerio!